What's up? It's Adam from the Next Level Showcast on Next Level Radio. This week I was joined again by Manny Muñoz filling in for Ben, who was out of town. On this week's episode, we got you ready for the Game of Thrones premiere by giving you 11 facts that you should know about the show. We also talked about some tech habits that you need to break and which ones we were guilty of. And as always, we gave you the Next Level News, Weird of the Week, and box office results along with new releases. Make sure you check us out live every Sunday night at 7 p.m. You can get our information on our website, nextlevelradioonline.com. We're also on Facebook. Make sure you go over and like our page, facebook.com/nextlevelradioonline. And of course, you can also follow us on Twitter at NXTLevelRadio. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned for more shows and interviews to come.
Get ready for the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to tonight's episode of the Next Level Showcast here on Next Level Radio. I'm Adam Gorey. I am joined again this week by Manny Muñoz, filling in for Ben, who is out of town this week. Manny, how are you doing?
Good evening, Adam. How are you?
You're not going to do the whole show like that, are you?
Like what? I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I assume that means that you're doing well.
Very well, thank you.
Perfect. I'm glad to hear. So you filled in for Ben last week. He was out sick, not feeling well. This week he's at WrestleMania.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't know that.
I'm very
Why
unfamiliar.
isn't he broadcasting live from there?
He should. He absolutely should.
He should be, yes, of course.
I don't know much about the WrestleMania. Do you know where it is or anything like that?
I haven't been into wrestling since probably beginning of high school, middle school.
I never really got into it. I know some people are huge into it. I never quite got into it.
It's a big phenomenon.
Yeah. I think it's in...
I remember last year it was a Royal Rumble last year where it was in MetLife Stadium.
Oh, really?
Giant Stadium. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. It might have been Royal Rumble, WrestleMania. I have no clue. If somebody's listening out there and knows the answer, go ahead and message us.
Yeah, you can send us a message. This can't be right. This says WrestleMania is in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Oh, that's probably right.
I didn't know that he was going all the way. I thought he was like driving somewhere. I don't know.
Maybe he's driving to
I don't know.
Nolans.
Yeah, if somebody knows where WrestleMania is, just tell us in the message board. You can send us a message on the Mixler page.
We could all stalk Ben together.
Yeah, or you can tweet us at NXT Level Radio on Twitter. Facebook is facebook.com/nextlevelradioonline. And, of course, our webpage, which has pretty much everything you need, is www.nextlevelradioonline.com. But I guess, do you want to get into the box office results?
Let's do it! That means yes.
All right, and no surprise this week finishing tops at the box office.
Noah.
Captain America, the Winter Soldier, $96.2 million.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that is an April record. I believe I read that was an April record, which is...
That's crazy. How much did Avengers do? I forget. It was insane, though.
How much did it open at?
Yeah.
I think it was in the hundreds.
Yeah, but it was also like a Wednesday, I believe.
Yeah, I think they released it on a Wednesday. Yeah, I think you're right.
Well, did it deserve it? Did you see Captain America?
I did see it, and it was really good. It was probably my second or third favorite.
Really? Better than Avengers, you think?
No. The Avengers, by the way, was actually $207 million
in the first weekend.
Domestic in the first weekend.
Wow.
But like you said, if it came out on a Wednesday, I don't know that it did though. Maybe it didn't. I don't remember.
I'm not sure, but either way, I mean,
either way, yeah.
Captain America's only what seventh of or a fifth of the Avengers.
Right. Yeah.
And
96.2.
she brought in a third of it.
Yeah. And that's April. Like, imagine if it was in the summer.
Right.
No, I saw it. It was very good. It was, like I said, my second or third favorite Marvel movie, that they've come out with of late.
Mm-hmm. Who directed this one? Do you know?
Not off the top of my head. I can check for you if you'd like.
I already got it up. Don't worry about it.
Well, who is it?
It was directed by Anthony Russo and Joe Russo.
Okay, the Russo brothers, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not gonna.
And Joss Whedon helped out with some post-credit scenes, apparently.
Yeah. There's two post-credit scenes. I'm not going to give away any of the plot. Ben and I are actually going to review it next week when he comes back, because I think he went to see it this weekend.
I'll actually watch it maybe and then also review it.
Yeah, and I think we're actually we had a winner of our contest, our Captain America passes giveaway. Ryan Johnson won. So he's actually going to come on the show briefly, I think, and tell us what he thought of it and how much he enjoyed his free passes.
Nice. That's not Ryan Johnson, the director of Looper, Brothers Bloom and Brick, is it?
No, he can afford his own movie passes. Anyway, let's continue with the box office. Number 2 is Noah. That was number 1 last week. That brought in another 17 mil.
I watched it.
Was it good?
I don't know.
You watched it, but you don't know.
I can't form an opinion about it still. I've seen it. I saw it. When did I see it? Tuesday, I think, or Monday. And I still, to this day, I just can't figure out what I think. I don't know if I liked it or not liked it.
So do you have to watch it again, you think?
Well, I guess I do like it if I keep thinking about it. But I saw it with my girlfriend. She thought it was the absolute worst movie she's ever seen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I don't even know if she's exaggerating or not. It was just very weird.
Yeah, but Emma Watson's in it. I mean, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, but she's not casting spells in it.
Yeah.
This is biblical, not wizardry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it's definitely a weird, very weird, bizarre is a good adjective for it.
Okay.
Bizarre film. See it if you're interested, I guess.
I'm gonna watch it when it comes out on Blu-ray or DVD and Blu-ray.
I think it proposes it introduces really interesting questions between or arguments versus justice, absolute love and justice, and what that means and how far you would go for that, even with faith involved and such. And I'm not a religious person or anything like that. But it definitely brings up. I think there's a little something for everyone in this, but it really tests your patience sometimes. So. Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Is it slow?
Not in length, but in what happens during it. Sometimes it's really savage. Sometimes it's really like mythical, like Lord of the Rings type of mythical.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll just say this. This is kind of spoilery, but not really. It's an element of it. It'll be fine if I say what's in it. There are angels in it that are rocks. They're rock angels. And it's kind of a never-ending story. It's interesting. It's really, really crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, but I did like the effects. I thought were well done.
Yeah, it looks like a very visually fun movie to watch.
Yeah, it was ILM
minus everybody dying.
Industrial Light and Magic's most complicated CGI they've done to date, apparently.
Now, how much of the movie takes place after the flood? It seems from the trailer, it looks like a lot of it is pre-flood.
It's like half and half.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad. Okay, well, number 3 was Divergent. That was number 2 last week, so that dropped back a spot. Brought in $13 million. In its 3 weeks, that's grossed $114 million, so pretty good.
And that's Hunger Games 2.0? Is that what that is?
I guess, yeah. I mean, it's we
Hunger
talked
Games
about it last week a little bit.
CW crowd.
Yeah. And then number 4 moved up a spot, God's Not Dead, 7.7 mil. And then number 5, also moving up a spot, was number 6 last week, The Grand Budapest Hotel, with 6.3. Getting kicked out of the top 5 was Muppets Most Wanted in its 3rd week, and Mr. Peabody and Sherman in its 5th week. So that's actually a little quick out of the top 5 for Muppets Most Wanted.
especially for like family kids films.
Yeah, it's really. I mean,
It's the only things out right now. I feel
yeah,
like,
I'm looking
that
at
are
the top
kids
5, and there's the ones we went over. There's no other real kids movie.
films. Right.
I mean, the only other one I even see that's still in theaters is the Lego Movie, and that's dropping out of a lot of theaters because it's been 9 weeks.
Wow.
So moving on to new releases coming out in the box office this coming week. You have Rio 2, the sequel to Rio 1. Jesse Eisenberg, Anne Hathaway, Andy Garcia, bunch of voices.
Bunch of voices.
Bunch of voices. It's about blue macaws, I think, or blue jewel or something like that.
They're parrots, and they go.
Yes. Also coming out, Draft Day with Kevin Costner, Jennifer Garner.
I'm not excited for that one.
Yeah, I don't really know how I feel about it, especially because it's about the Cleveland Browns. No offense to any Browns fans.
It looks like it's just trying to be Moneyball or something like that, and it's not working out.
And I don't think it's based off like any true events or anything.
Right.
That I had seen. So yeah, I don't know. I'll wait for DVD for that one. Also coming out, Oculus, the horror movie about a woman who tries to exonerate her brother who was convicted of murder by proving that the crime was committed by a supernatural phenomenon.
It's about seeing, right? Or something like that?
About what?
Seeing? Like the visual act of
something
looking?
like that, I think, yeah. I've seen a few trailers for it. I don't know. The horror industry doesn't usually grab me much anyway, and it seems a lot of them these days that come out are just kind of...
Well, they're not like true horror,
Yeah.
like in the sense of like creepy and suspenseful. It's more like about gore and jump scares.
Yeah, exactly. It seems like a lot of jump scares anymore. These few movies, these next few, I haven't, excuse me, I haven't really heard much about. You have Only Lovers Left Alive. Tom Hiddleston's in it.
All right.
It's a story centered on two vampires who have been in love for centuries. It's a romantic, horrific drama. Sounds
Wow.
interesting. The Railway Man with Colin Firth, Nicole Kidman. I haven't seen anything about this either, but it's about a victim from World War II's death railway who sets out to find those responsible for his torture. It is a true story. Also, Joe, Nicolas Cage movie.
I'm really bummed. I was supposed to see a screening of that on Wednesday, but I won't be able to make it.
Okay, so you think it looks good?
I'm excited for it because I think Nicolas Cage is ridiculous, but like one of the craziest actors playing right now. And also it's directed by David Gordon Green, and he hasn't done like a drama in a while, I feel. He did like, what's that mall cop movie? That's not
Paul Blart?
No, not Paul. Observe and Report.
Okay.
He's done a bunch of Eastbound and Down episodes. He's a really, really great like dramatic drama / like dramedy, comedy, dark comedy director. So I'm really interested in seeing like Joe, which seems like more of like a thriller / drama.
Yeah, it's listed as a drama, but
Yeah.
in case you're wondering and you haven't seen anything, because I haven't seen any trailers on TV for it at least. It's about an ex-con who is the unlikeliest of role models. He meets a 15-year-old boy and is faced with the choice of redemption or ruin. I'm guessing Nicolas Cage is the ex-con.
Yeah, just watch a trailer and just
All right.
bask in the
I'll have to
glory
check
that
it out.
is Nick Cage.
And then finally, Cuban Fury.
Yeah.
Nick Frost.
I don't know how to feel.
What's that?
I don't know how to feel about that.
I don't even know what it's about.
You didn't see a trailer for that?
No.
Basically, he's a dancer and he dances.
Oh, really?
But he's like against Chris O'Dowd. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. The guy from the IT crowd and the It's crowd. And,
yeah, and then Rashida Jones is in
Keys
it
and Girls.
as well.
Yeah, Rashida is the love interest / you know.
I'm
lady.
looking, though, and I'm not sure any of these people are Cuban.
No, none of them are.
Okay. Just checking.
It's about dancing. It's about
Making
like
or I wasn't off on
salsa,
that.
stuff like that.
Okay. So that does that for the box office. Now let's move on to DVDs, or new releases coming out on DVD. August Osage County is coming out on Tuesday. It's made $37.6 million at the box office, has a 64% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Mm.
Did you see it at all?
I watched the first 10 minutes, and then I said, I'm gonna watch it later, and then I never did.
It looks like it has some humor to it. I mean,
No, I'm sure the writing is pretty good.
Meryl Streep looks pretty funny in it.
Yeah, the back and forth. Well, the first 10 minutes I saw it seemed not so funny. It was kind of like, oh no, this is going to be a sad movie.
Yeah, isn't it all based around the one person's funeral?
I'm not actually sure, but I know that Meryl
someone
Streep was, like,
dies.
sick or something in the beginning.
Yeah, I think someone might die. I don't.
Someone may die. Spoilers.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so. And by the way, Ben usually plays clips coming back from breaks. I am also going to play some clips this week. I didn't have time to do it last week. I was a little short notice. But this week I had a little time to prepare, so I'm actually going to play a couple clips from two of these movies that are coming out on DVD this week. Also coming out on DVD is Grudge Match with Robert De Niro, Kevin Hart's in it, obviously Sylvester Stallone's in it. That made $29.7 million at the box office, and it owns up to a lovely 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. I haven't seen it. By the way, we usually do buy, rent, or pass. So August Osage County, I would probably list as a rent for me.
Yeah, I would rent it.
Grudge Match.
I kind of have rented already. I just haven't watched it.
Grudge Match might be a rent. It might also be a cable TV watch.
It might be not a watch.
Just because I like Kevin Hart, so I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, you don't like him?
No.
You have like Kevin Hart overkill?
No, I don't like Kevin Hart.
You just never liked him?
I just never liked him.
No. I loved him in The 40-Year-Old Virgin in his brief appearance in that movie.
Yeah, all right. I could go with that.
Okay.
That was good.
Also coming out, The Hobbit, Desolation of Smaug. That was made $258.2 million at the box office, 75% on Rotten Tomatoes. I haven't seen it. I haven't even seen the first Hobbit. I really want to. I just haven't really found the time.
Well, I would rent them. I mean, I saw the first one. The second one I have ready and queued. I just haven't gone to see it, like press play yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give it a buy because it looked really cool.
I mean, they're long films.
Yeah.
So, like, you got to like prepare yourself as like, all right, I have the time.
Right, exactly. Justin Bieber's Believe. We can skip that one.
Oh no, that's my most anticipated film coming out.
It made a whopping $6.2 million at the box office. Does hold a 57% on Rotten Tomatoes, so apparently it's better than Grudge Match, according to Rotten Tomatoes. And apparently it's also better than this last one that I have listed here, Paranormal Activity, The Marked Ones. 32.4 mil at the box office, 39% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I'm kind of done with those.
Yeah, Ben and I had talked about it when the movie was out in the box office. They just kind of they should have stopped. I mean, it's like Saw. Like after a few, you're just like, whatever. And then also, I have a video game that is coming out this week. I believe Lego The Hobbit is coming out this week.
Interesting.
Those games are wildly popular.
Yeah, the Lego games they have been very popular. I remember we were in college when the first one came out. Was it?
I know I had
Star
Lego
Wars?
Batman.
No, what was the first one? I think it was Star Wars. Lego Star Wars that came out.
Probably. I don't remember, but I know like on PS3 the demo for Lego Batman was on there, so that was pretty fun. I know I played that. So, all right. Well, that wraps it up for new releases and everything. Coming up on the show, I guess we kind of forgot to do this earlier. Coming up on the show today, we're going to talk about a little Game of Thrones. There are some facts that we found during the week about the show. And Manny, you do watch the show, right?
I love that show.
Okay. I have seen the pilot. I'm in process of going to be watching the other ones.
He just started this week, folks.
Yeah.
Don't kill him yet.
And then we're also going to talk about some tech habits that you should probably try and break. And we're going to discuss which ones each of us are guilty of. And then we'll also...
Spitting on your screen.
What's that?
That's one of them? Spitting on your screen?
Yes. That's a huge one. Don't do that.
Yeah, you get the rainbow effect and everything.
So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what's going on this week in the Next Level News. And then, of course, the Weird of the Week. I usually only do 2 or 3. I have 4 stories this week in the Weird of the Week.
Whoa.
It was
a weird week.
It was a weird week this week.
Must have been a weird week.
So, like I said, check us out online, nextlevelradioonline.com. Twitter is at nxtlevelradio, and facebook.com/nextlevelradioonline. Plenty more to come. Make sure you stick around. We'll be right back.
Bunch of nonsense. What is this?
What are you talking about nonsense? It's called promotion, kid. Yes, Razor.
I know we got a contract, but I can't stand being around that clown anymore.
What is up with you? Huh? What, did you wake up on the wrong side of the tenement this morning? Is
Hey,
that
Webster, show a little respect.
And I choose to believe that you just called me Webster because of my dictionary-sized vocabulary, not because of my height and race.
Nope, it's because you're short and black.
That's funny. That's real funny. What was Jesus like? I'm curious. Was he cool?
And we are back here on the Next Level Showcast on Next Level Radio. Again, I'm joined by Manny Muñoz, special guest co-host tonight. That was a clip from Grudge Match, as we had mentioned earlier. That's coming out on DVD on Tuesday. And it may be a rent for me, and Manny's not interested.
No, it's a big negative, no.
But what Manny does love is Game of Thrones, and that comes back on tonight.
Game of Thrones.
That comes back, 9 o'clock on
9
HBO?
p.m. EST. Yep, HBO Go.
Now, is that a thing where they will do it at 9 o'clock in each time zone, or?
Actually, I don't know. I think, I don't know how it works for West Coasters using HBO Go. I'm assuming that at 9:30, or 9:03 or whatever time it usually shows up, they'll be able to play it. Or they could just wait for the West Coast feed and watch it at 10, or not 10, what is that, 6 p.m.?
6, yeah.
For the West Coast? Yeah, so, I don't know. I'm not sure.
All right. Well, I'm sure you just pretty much watch it on Go, don't you? You don't usually watch it live.
Yeah, I watch it at Go. I actually don't have cable right now. I'm just bumming off my parents.
Oh, okay.
Go.
What do you have? Okay. I was going to say, do you have Slingbox?
No, I do have a Sling Box as well.
Ben does have. Ben has that as well.
Yeah, I use that for sports and stuff.
Okay.
And Oscars, Golden Globes and stuff.
And I told you about this, and I'm a little disappointed about it. It needs to be updated soon, as soon as possible. Xbox One and I believe PS4 also. They don't have the HBO Go app.
Stupid.
Yeah, 360 and PS3 did. So I went down to watch it. I was going to watch an episode today on Go, and I couldn't because it's not on there.
Boom.
So I think that's a little silly. Anyway, so to get you ready for tonight's Game of Thrones premiere, what season is this? This is 6 or 4?
This is 4.
This is 4. Okay. So I'm
This
got
is
a lot
4,
of watching to do.
This is 4 based on the last half of book 3.
Okay. And how many books are there? There's 8, isn't there? Something like that?
There's 5.
5. I'm way off. Maybe I'm thinking
But
Harry
you're
Potter.
close. You're close. There's 5 right now. There's going to be 7. George R. R. Martin, the author, he's working on the last 2 now.
Okay.
But he's already, well, I guess you'll find out one of the facts when we talk about what he's done.
Yeah. I did hear that he is. I knew that much about the show, that he is still writing the books. So anyway, we have 11 must-know facts about Game of Thrones for you. Get you ready for tonight's season 4 premiere. Now, this is off of BuzzFeed, so credit to them. But it was a video, so I had to write it down.
Yeah. Oh.
That's the only one thing that kind of disappoints me about some of their videos is they have these
Lists
things
they have
that
to watch.
Yeah, it would be cool if under in a description they just listed it. Right. So anyway, first one, George R. R. Martin, which is the author, came up with the idea for Game of Thrones while watching his childhood pet turtles who kept dying. And
that's a really messed up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
And he imagined they were knights and ladies who were plotting to kill each other. So quite an imagination. Just watch.
Yeah, and actually that makes a lot of sense because the books are very long and it looks like they're slow, long cons for everyone. So maybe the turtles were a little slow in killing each other. So
well, how many turtles did he have that kept dying? Like, maybe he just wasn't taking care of them.
I don't know. There's like over 300 characters in Game of Thrones.
Sorry. Bumped my mic there.
I could just imagine George R. R. Martin as a kid, like in a turtle zoo or something, and just like his bed was made out of turtle shells and such.
He's like,
he probably had an iron throne, but made out of turtle shells.
Well, in 2012, and I should have asked you. You have the list in front of you, right?
Yes.
Can you read this one? Because I don't want to mess up. I don't want to botch the names.
Sure. In 2012, Arya was the fastest rising baby girl name, and 146 U.S. babies were named Khaleesi that year. That's ridiculous.
That's how you pronounce it.
Khaleesi. Yeah. Khaleesi.
Now that's a fan. But in like 20 years, when the kid's in college, do you think anybody's gonna know why the hell a kid's name is Khaleesi?
No, I have no idea. I mean, I would. It's not even a cool name.
No, it's not.
Maybe if like you said like Sir Gregor Clegane or something.
Right.
I would name my kid that.
Sir Patrick.
Or just there's one character called the Hound, and the Mountain. It'd be funny if you just called your kid the Hound.
That would lead to an interesting childhood.
Right.
Sophie Turner was true to her character. Is it Sansa?
Sansa, yeah.
Sansa?
Or Sansa.
Sansa. She adopted the dog who played Sansa's direwolf.
Direwolf, yeah.
So that's pretty cool. I assume they're just huskies.
They're like I think they're a mixed breed. I think they're wolves. They might be actual trained wolves, but then they CGI them like huge in the show. It's really crazy.
I was gonna say
really nice.
I saw the pilot, and I saw that they're really. I've only seen the tiny ones.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm a sucker for puppies, man.
Yep.
Puppies are so damn cute.
The direwolves.
So
gotta watch out for them.
Sansa actually gets a direwolf in the show.
Yeah, they each get their own.
Okay.
All the Stark.
And who is Sansa? Is she she's one of the kings?
She's the redheaded child.
Okay.
She's Ned's. You're on the first season, so Ned Stark, aka Sean Bean's one of his daughters.
I gotcha. All right. George R. R. Martin has revealed all major plot lines to the show's producers, just in case he dies before he finishes writing the books. So as we said, he's still writing.
He's getting a lot of flack for this. Like he's.
Oh really?
Like at the Game of Thrones special event, a couple of friends and I went to at the Barclays Center a few weeks ago. A bunch of fans yelling at him, "Finish the books! Finish them!"
Is he just like taking his time?
About it. I think he's just they're very long books and he's not like on them all the time. He's a big fan of things.
Which book is he on?
Though apparently, I don't know what life, but he has a life.
Which book is he on?
He's on the 6th book, I believe.
And there's going to be 8?
7.
Seven. Okay. Yeah, he's got to get to work. He's 65.
I think there's going to be 8 seasons. I forget what they said. Go on with the facts. I'm going to find out how many seasons they said there were going to be.
Okay. Yeah, he's 65 now, so he's from Bayonne, New Jersey.
Yep.
I don't know if is that northern?
He is a very strange man. He's got this beard and this weird hat.
He looks like Amish Santa Claus.
Yeah, kind of. Yep. A little Amish Dutch Santa Claus.
Yeah. Are you saying you said you're looking up how many seasons there are going to be? Yeah,
because the producers already said like there's a finite how many seasons are going to do it no matter what.
You can only kill so many people for so long.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of characters, but
yeah, that's one thing I know about going into it. Apparently, you're not supposed to get attached.
It's basically as soon as you get attached to someone, you're probably going to miss them in a few.
Like House of Cards?
It's not like an arbitrary, sad. No, it's more like it's more. I can't explain it really, but there's reason behind their death. Like it is out of nowhere, but I mean it makes total sense in the grand scheme of things.
Okay. And you are
much like House of Cards, I guess.
Are you caught up on House of Cards?
Yeah, I've watched all of it.
Okay, so anyone who hasn't seen it or hasn't started season 2 or anything like that, the first episode of season 2 is nuts.
Yeah, there's some big changes
Yeah.
in that first episode.
Can you tell me? I'm on like the 4th or 5th episode of season 2. Does anybody die in the rest of the season?
I think that would be spoilery, so I'm not going to say anything.
All right. I'll see what you would give away there. So moving on with these 11 must-know facts about Game of Thrones. The minor character Sir Patrick is named after Martin's friend Patrick St. Dennis. He created the character because he lost a bet about the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know he was such a big, I guess, Giants fan.
Yeah, he must be a Giant. Well, he's from Jersey.
Yeah.
But he must be a Giants fan because the next fact, Sir Patrick only exists, or I should say exists only, to get ripped apart by giants in a Dance with Dragons.
Well, hold on, that is very spoilery, but yes, okay.
Is it?
I forgot to say that's kind of spoilery.
Well, when they said this, it sounded like he's only a minor character.
Yeah, it's like...
What season is that?
Well, that hasn't happened yet. Dance with Dragons is the latest book, which is book 5. And I just looked up, so the producers, they do want 8 seasons total. So, there's 8 seasons, there's going to be 7 books, so, I mean, basically I think they could do it. This season, they have, they split up season 3 and 4, they split up book 3 into 2 halves.
Okay.
But they've been sprinkling in things from like even book 5 in there, introducing new concepts that I didn't know about until book 5. So, they're mixing it up a bunch, but main plot points, I think they're gonna keep going for only 8 seasons.
Okay. Okay, well, apologies if that was a little spoiler-ish, because I guess that book is still going.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun.
But yeah. Did you read the books or no?
Yeah, I read the first book and then started reading the second book, but I started to listen to them on tape instead while driving a lot. So.
Has Sir Patrick, is he in the show yet?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, so maybe he is just a minor character, briefly.
Yeah.
And then he gets killed. But I will say that would be the only one that's any bit spoiler, because the next ones aren't.
Right.
While shooting one scene, Emilia Clarke, who plays Khaleesi, yeah, she was covered in so much fake blood that she got stuck to a toilet seat. That's a lot of fake blood.
That is terrible. I don't know if you ever had like fake makeup or like some kind of sticky substance and then get it stuck on something.
No, I haven't had the fake makeup or anything like that. I've had actually Ben had lent to me for my Halloween costume this year. I was Luke Skywalker with Yoda on my back because I had a Yoda backpack. When he was training, and he's all dirty, so he gave me like the fake dirt type of stuff. So it's just like a powder.
Right.
So that's not sticky. It does kind of tend to get on things.
Well, if you ever try blood, like for zombie makeup or something like that, it is like just peeling off freaking hurts so much.
Oh, really?
In weird places. So I can't imagine on my butt, just
stuck on a toilet.
And then having to I don't know how she got up there without screaming.
I'm surprised they let that get out. I'm surprised they even let anybody know that.
Yeah, it's probably a little anecdote from one of the makeup.
The janitor probably found it.
Yeah.
And just released it, leaked it.
We had to crowbar her out.
Yeah, we actually had to take off the toilet seat, and she had to walk around with a toilet seat attached for a little while. That's gotta be painful. But how would you be what if you were the person who what'd you do today? I just got Emilia Clarke unpeeled from a toilet seat because she had a lot of fake blood on her. What if that was your job?
I think I'd just retire from there because there's no other high point.
It doesn't get any better than that, right?
Yeah.
I'll let you read this next one because I don't want to. I think it's Dothraki, right?
Yeah, the Dothraki language was created by a real linguist, and the Dothraki word for kind is the name of the linguist's wife named Erin. So Erin is kind.
Now, again, I am way early in the show, but Khaleesi is married to the king of the Dothrakis, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Khal Drogo, a.k.a. Jason Momoa.
Okay. And then the last one here, because of a friendly feud between George R.R. Martin, who is the author, as we mentioned, and the creator of the show Lost, the Dothraki root verb that sounds like lost means to disappoint, which is awesome.
Yeah. I don't know if he means David Lindelof or Carlton Cuse. I'm assuming Lindelof.
Yeah, that I don't know.
Because he's very much on the social media stream.
Oh, really?
But yeah, well, I don't know. I'm not sure which one he means.
Me either.
But it's pretty funny.
That is funny because anyone who has seen the show Lost knows that the last season was kind of disappointing.
Well, yeah.
And you can spoil it at this point because it's been, I don't know what, 5 years.
I don't know. I mean, I would still tell people it's a ride if you haven't.
No, it's definitely worth watching.
Right.
It's on Netflix, so I mean, it's definitely worth watching. But
everything on Netflix is worth watching.
Not necessarily everything. I've seen some garbage on Netflix. All right, so that does it for the 11 facts that you need to know about Game of Thrones. And remember, it's on at 9 o'clock, so just over an hour.
Watch tonight, folks.
It'll be
pretty
on
good.
HBO. And we'll be done in plenty of time for that, so don't worry. You can stick around and listen to whatever you need to listen to. So what do you say we move on to the next level news?
Sure, let's do it.
This is Next Level News.
There we go. It wanted me to manually do it. I don't know what the issue was, but now it's going. So, first on Next Level News, let's go with the Boardwalk Empire star Steve Buscemi.
Who?
And AOL team up on New York set Park Bench.
Why is he teaming up with AOL as well?
I don't know. It's going to be an AOL original series.
I wonder if he shopped it around a bunch of places and AOL was like, oh, we're bored.
Yeah. People don't use AIM anymore.
Yeah. So let's make our own originals.
Yeah, so we'll do it.
Yeah. But it sounds fun. It's Steve Buscemi or Buscemi. I think it's Buscemi. He's he's interviewing New Yorkers, and he's from New York or Brooklyn, and he's lived here all his whole life. So it should be interesting. Him
Is it
just
Buscemi?
walking around and talking to people. I think it's Buscemi.
Okay,
yeah.
I always said Buscemi. I don't know why.
Me too. I always did too, and then I recently started hearing him being introduced in talk shows and stuff, and I was like, oh, I guess it's Buscemi.
Well, I'll tell you what. For the longest time, I thought Josh Duhamel's name was Duhamel. Because that's how it's spelled. It should be. Anyway, so Park Bench presents New Yorkers' take on the people, places, and spirit of their city. So there you go.
Yeah.
An AOL original series.
Maybe he'll stop me on the street and ask me.
Yeah.
And I'll be like,
let us know.
Oh my God, you're Steve Buscemi. And he'll be like, no, it's Buscemi.
Yeah.
He slaps me.
He'll slap you across the face.
Yeah.
Next is Lady Gaga helps Bill Murray check a big item off his bucket list. Bill Murray appeared on Wednesday's Late Show with David Letterman. Apparently on his bucket list was to meet Lady Gaga. Well,
yeah, but part of it was... If you guys haven't seen it, it's pretty funny. Try to check it out. There's a 3-part on YouTube. Bill Murray comes out during his opening monologue, David Letterman's monologue, and basically says, "I've always wanted to host a show, whatever." So he tells one or two jokes, or one joke, and it's pretty cheesy, but it's funny, and you laugh because Bill Murray, and then later on he shows up again, and tells Dave to show a clip of his movie or something, and then say something else, or a clip of Grand Budapest Hotel, which he's in, and then he tells him to say something that he wrote on a paper,
yeah,
and then Dave Letterman says it, and then he goes, "Great, now I don't have to pay them for the primer." And I don't know, it's just ridiculous. He's an insane person. But then his other thing was he came out and said, "Hey, I want to meet Lady Gaga." And Dave Letterman's like, "What, now?" And Lady Gaga just appears out of nowhere and says,
"Is she on the show?"
No, she wasn't scheduled to be on it or anything. It was just like a walk-on randomly. And she came out in her crazy hair and, basically thong and netting.
Yeah,
and,
I saw that.
Said like, hey, she's playing at the Roseland Ballroom right before it closes. Everybody come and watch a set, I guess. And I guess they took the whole crowd with them. I don't know if that's true.
And then they took a selfie.
Yeah, they took
While
a
they were
selfie.
on stage, they took a selfie.
But Bill Murray's amazing. So that was everything he does is amazing.
Yeah, I just don't know why he would care about meeting Lady Gaga. I mean, don't get me wrong, she's talented.
I'm pretty sure it was like, hey, we want to get everybody into the Roseland Ballroom to see Lady Gaga close it out, and they needed some way to like cross market it. And they're like, hey, Bill Murray, just say you want to meet Lady Gaga, and she'll just show up on stage.
Uh-oh. Well, it worked.
I'm pretty sure it just wasn't his like stunt.
Okay.
I don't know though.
I gotcha. Speaking of David Letterman, though, he announced that he is going to be retiring from CBS in 2015.
Yeah, sadness. I mean, I've always been a fan of Letterman. Like when I was younger, that's who I'd watch, not Leno. I didn't like Leno ever.
Yeah, I would if I had to choose between two, but now I like Fallon.
Yeah, I've been warming up to him, especially when he was doing the late night.
Yeah,
I was kind of mad at him at first because of the whole Conan fiasco, and he didn't have really much to do with it. But like,
right.
I felt bad, and
yeah, but I like all the little things he does on the show. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like a good episode of SNL, like his skits.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think they're better. I think when he was on SNL, I was never a fan of Jimmy Fallon while he was on SNL.
No, me either.
Like
I couldn't stand him.
He like ruined jokes all the time with his laughing, but like not. But then Will
Forte?
What's his name? Wow. No, not Will Forte.
Ferrell?
Will Ferrell. I couldn't, for some reason his name was escaping me. Will Ferrell would always like make it funny because he'd stay so straight in character. But yeah, I'm interested in seeing who David Letterman gets replaced by. So far I hear Stephen Colbert is a top choice.
Yeah, I did hear that. That would be cool.
Yeah, I think that
sure.
would be cool. But I also think they might pick someone even like someone young as well.
Why wouldn't
like,
they just have Jimmy Kimmel do it?
Right, they might do that, but I mean then he's on ABC and I don't know how his contract is and such, so
Yeah, I'd love to see
and
Craig
he's
Ferguson
still doing
do it.
pretty good. Kimmel's doing good numbers, I think. So I mean,
That's true.
not compared to CBS's.
Yeah, I
but,
forgot that he was on ABC. I was thinking of Craig Ferguson, who does the CBS one.
Yeah, I think Craig Ferguson is always going to stay.
Yeah, I think his not act, but you know what I mean. Like
his brand of comedy.
His brand deserves to be late night, like late night.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you'd say the word deserves, but I think it fits more in there. I think it's not so mainstream.
Right, exactly.
So,
I don't know how the mainstream would take him. I personally love, his show.
I love his monologues. They're great.
I'm not sure still how I feel about his little robot sidekick, but it's hilarious.
Yeah, it is fun.
He pulls it off for sure.
He's a huge Doctor Who fan, so like as a geek, I'm like, yes, Doctor Who.
Oh, is he a big Doctor Who fan?
Yeah, he talks about it all the time.
I love when I don't know if he still does it. I haven't been able to watch it in a while. Does he still do he reads tweets and stuff like that?
Yeah, and as
those were always the
usual,
best.
Curses a lot, and then it gets
Yeah.
replaced with "Ay caramba."
Yeah, that show is really good. Okay, well, finally, for the next level news, Wreck-It Ralph 2 is currently in the works at Disney, says the composer.
I don't love sequels, but if they're gonna do sequels to one of these CGI things, I guess I'd see Wreck-It Ralph too.
Yeah, I thought that the first one was really good.
I might hurt some fans here, especially your wife, I'm assuming, because you guys are big Disney fans. But I did not like Frozen.
No.
And I liked it. I liked Tangled more, and I didn't like Tangled that much.
Wow.
So Wreck-It Ralph to me is I think it's a really, really great entry. In fact, I think it was stronger than the Pixar film that year, which is what, Cars 2 or something?
Yeah, I don't remember. I forgot that Wreck-It Ralph was not a Pixar one. It's a Disney Animation Studios.
Mm-hmm.
No, I thought Frozen was really good though. But Wreck-It Ralph is a cool movie. But anyway, the composer of the first one, Henry Jackman, said that Disney's currently working on the story for the second one. It probably ranks up there pretty high, through the movies that Disney animation like that.
Yeah, I gotta say it's up there for me. It's probably the highest of their CG, of their Pixar-ish type of animation.
And like, do Disney and Pixar just not get along anymore? Like, how come they're not? Or
No,
Disney's
it's just I think it's just different studios, like different. They still collab, obviously, with
right. Toy
Pixar
Story
films
3.
Yeah, it's just like different kind of extensions.
Well, I'm kind of surprised they never did a second Incredibles movie.
Yeah, I guess that would have easily be. I don't know what they would do.
Yeah, but they're all superheroes. I mean, it's easy. You could just think of anything.
Right.
So I'm a little surprised they didn't do that.
Well, maybe I think Brad Bird was talking about it several times.
Oh, really?
Talked about it several times, but then he started doing live action.
Oh,
so
interesting.
I don't know.
Speaking.
Well, yeah, Did you see Mission Impossible 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did that.
Oh,
not
did
3,
he?
Sorry,
Okay.
4.
Oh,
4.
Ghost Protocol. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did see that.
Oh, by the way,
Josh Holloway.
Incredibles 2 is moving forward.
Oh, they are doing it.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
okay.
just haven't done it yet.
It'll also okay, and I see a story here saying they might do a Cars 3 as well.
Yeah, I hope not.
I still have to see the second one.
Mm-hmm.
The first one wasn't all that impressive for me.
And their next 2 releases is Inside Out, which I don't know about, and The Good Dinosaur, which I've heard about. I've heard it's been in production for a while. So.
Oh, okay, and this wasn't in my next level news thing because it might have been out last week when we did the show. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Did you see the new trailer for that?
Yeah. That's all. Yeah.
Well, you don't like Michael Bay, right?
Oh God, I hate his. Oh no. I mean, he didn't direct it though.
Yeah, it came out. The trailer was released a few days before our show last week, so I apologize for missing that. But it looks. I don't know.
I do not like the.
I don't like their faces.
Yeah, I hate their face. I think they look gross, but like not in a fun way.
Right, they look. I mean, obviously they're CGI, which I guess I can't say I'm surprised, but seriously, the ones, the one that came out in, what was it, like 89 or 90, the first one, the live action one was just, I mean, it was guys in suits, there was no CGI, and they looked like turtles. Like, these ones that Michael Bay did, they have like noses or something like that, like nostrils. It's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. A fan on Reddit posted like he fixed the faces of the turtles to make them look a little more like the canon usual look of the turtles, and it looks so much better. Like even in that with the shiny gloss of the CGI and all that, like in a real world function, it still looks better.
And they're also like huge.
They have noses.
The turtles are massive.
Yeah, they're pretty big. I mean, that's fine. I'm okay with big.
Yeah, I'm not as opposed to that, but their faces are weird.
The team behind it, I don't have much confidence in.
No.
Like, I mean,
no.
Michael Bay producing it, great.
I thought he hated Megan Fox.
He what?
I thought he hated Megan Fox. Like, didn't they not get along?
I don't know, actually.
Like
that's another thing. Megan Fox is April. They better make her like wear yellow jumpsuit at one point. I'm going to be very angry as a fanboy.
Who would you have rather seen?
I don't know. But it's directed by Jonathan Liebesman. Or Liebesman? I'm terrible at pronouncing director names. Anyway, he directed recently Wrath of the Titans, which is a sequel to Clash of the Titans, which I hear was not very good at all.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I heard it was bad.
Battle of Los Angeles, which I also heard / it wasn't great.
He's got a great track record.
A little bit. Yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning, like the sequel or whatever. And then Darkness Falls, this 2003 old like horror film that I remember seeing back in the day.
All movies I have not seen. and
It's
don't
about
want
a vengeful tooth fairy. It's ridiculous. I'm not even joking. That's what it was.
to. That's terrible. Terrible. And this guy's behind the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
He's directing it, yeah. He directed it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do with it. If they're going to try and make it like Kitty, then that's fine. But I feel like they're not.
They'll probably do the usual blend of Michael Bay's like super racist humor and just crazy action scenes. I mean, the action scenes might be cool, but so far what I've seen in the trailer, I'm like, I'm not pumped about.
I'm not overly impressed. I'm looking forward to Dinobots.
Yeah, see, I'm more impressed with the Dinobots, and I'm still not. I mean, that's just a ridiculous trailer as well. The new Transformers 4 trailer.
Yeah, there's a couple now.
Mark Wahlberg just comes out in the beginning and goes, "I think this is a Transformer."
Yeah.
I think this. Oh my God.
This isn't just a truck.
Like, really? We're just calling it now that Transformer.
Yeah, did they ever actually call them Transformers in the other 3 movies?
No, I don't think so. No.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't even think about that.
There are Autobots and
Decepticons. Yeah, they never actually say Transformers. You're right.
Yeah.
That's a good call by you. So that will wrap it up for Next Level News. Coming up, we're going to take a quick break. Coming up, we will talk about some tech habits that Manny probably breaks every single one of them. And we will also go over the Weird of the Week. Again, make sure you check out our website, nextlevelradioonline.com. Facebook page, make sure you like us on Facebook, facebook.com/nextlevelradioonline. That's where we will post when we post the shows, interviews, stuff like that. And then Twitter is at NXT Level Radio. So we will be right back. Stick around.
What'd you do to your hair?
I had it straightened.
Why would anybody do that?
Just wanted a change.
You're a pretty girl. Why don't you wear makeup?
Do I need makeup?
Every woman needs makeup. Don't let anybody tell you different. The only woman pretty enough to go without makeup was Elizabeth Taylor. And she wore a ton. Shoulders are all slumped and your hair's all straight and don't wear makeup. You look like a lesbian.
Oh.
You could get a decent man if you would just spruce up a bit. That's all I'm saying. My tongue is on fire.
You supposed to be smoking?
Is anybody supposed to smoke?
We are back here on the Next Level Showcast on Next Level Radio. And that was a clip from August Osage County, which also comes out on Blu-ray and DVD this Tuesday. That clip makes me kind of want to watch it. You said you didn't see it, right?
No, I haven't. I heard it's funny and sad and funny and sad. I mean, I think it's a play, I believe, but don't quote me on that. I'm just terrible with my trivia these days.
Interesting. Yeah. I did not
also, know. I hate Game of Thrones.
What?
No, never mind. Going on.
Oh my God. All right. I don't even remember what we're going to talk about. Right. 9 tech habits you should break now.
Technology.
From Men's Journal.
Do we have a technology intro music?
We do not. No.
Can we just like make one up on the spot? Like
it's from.
Should I just play the dial tone for like 56K modems?
Sure.
Like.
Yeah, it's from Napoleon Dynamite. That I Love Technology song.
Oh yeah. Can you sing a few bars for us?
No. So here's 9 tech habits that you should break according to Men's Journal. And you can let us know if you agree or disagree in the chat board.
This is Men's Journal.
Men's Journal.
For men.
But so, I'm sure women...
it's probably incorrect.
Yeah, women could probably break these habits too. Okay, first one is compulsively charging your devices. The lithium-ion batteries in your devices are dying one charge cycle at a time. Apparently each recharge essentially burns away some of the battery's internal chemical processes.
This is like huge. This is a big one. for people. Like a lot of people, they charge their phone, like while they're on their desk, they're like, oh, I'll just charge my phone. It's right here. I'm at like, 78%, or maybe I'm at 30%.
Right.
No, you don't do that. let it go as far. I mean, you shouldn't like let it go through a whole cycle all the time, but it's good like every like at least once a week, maybe twice a week. I let it go all the way down to 1% and just let it die, and then start recharging it. But like try to recharge it all the way to 100% before I take it out.
Interesting. That's a good idea.
Yeah, it just it extends your battery life.
Okay, I'll have to keep that in mind because I will like I'll charge my phone overnight. I'll get up, I'll go to work, and when I come home for lunch, I'll charge it for like a half hour, and then go back to work.
Yeah, you're just killing the capacity of your next charge.
I will have to keep
basically,
that in mind.
These are like cycles, like battery life cycles, and like the more you do that, you like cut the cycle shorter, and then like the circle of the cycle, let's say, it gets a little more narrow and smaller, and basically your phone. That's why people like to switch their phones every 2 years, because by the end of the 2 years, they're like,
the battery's terrible.
My battery dies within like 3 hours of use.
Yeah, no, and I guess, I have a car charger that also, like, it's just the USB that plugs into the car charging port.
And people, right, and sometimes they play music off of it, but it's also charging your thing. Yeah. So if you're doing that, try using Bluetooth or something like that, where it doesn't, you don't have to plug it in.
Well, apparently, I'm going to skip down on this list because you just mentioned Bluetooth. Leaving Bluetooth and Wi-Fi on is another one to break. Even when they're not synced up to a specific device, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi are colossal power drains, as devices regularly cast about for a suitable connection, flooding their surroundings with radio waves.
Yeah, even if you think they're idle or they're like kind of off, right. They're still searching for a connection. So, Bluetooth, not so much, but still like kind
Wi-Fi,
of
definitely.
Searching for like those. They're searching for those auto connections. Like, how like when you go on a phone or a computer and you could say like, remember this connection or whatever, and you could press like forget connection, like that. It's looking for something like when you walk into your house, you'll see that your Wi-Fi just like connects.
Right.
It knows that because it's been searching. So if it's constantly searching, you're draining battery in the background.
Yeah, I usually do leave my Wi-Fi on, and I should probably turn it off when I go to work because they don't have Wi-Fi at work.
Yeah.
So I am guilty as charged.
Yeah. And pro tip for you city commuters, when you're on the train and you're not going to get signal, just put it on airplane mode for your train ride, and that'll already like minimize your battery life.
Yeah, I did hear that when you're charging, it's also good to put it on airplane mode too. I think it just charges quicker or something.
Yep.
Another one, tech habit to break: never shutting down your computer. It says a computer that never shuts down is the equivalent of a compulsive hoarder frantically piling disk caches, temporary files, and other digital garbage throughout its system. Putting the machine to sleep halts this junk gathering process but doesn't purge it. To prevent your computer from gradually slowing under the growing burden of its own waste, simply restart or fully shut the thing down.
Yeah. Same thing with your phone. You want to like shut it off every now and then.
Yeah. Because your phone is basically a computer at this point.
Yeah. So you just want to I don't shut down my computer every day because I like to leave it on for remote connections.
Yeah.
But also they say not to shut it down all the time because the number of times your hard drive starts spinning, restarting the spin kind of could scratch and damage your disk if you're doing it all the time.
Okay.
Also your motherboard and stuff if it's turning on and off. But nowadays computers are a little better with that, so it's not so much an issue.
When I shut the lid, I have a laptop. When I shut the lid, it puts it to sleep, and I do that, every night. I try and restart it once a week or so. Sometimes when it does Windows updates, it does it on its own.
Mm-hmm.
But today, I actually shut my computer down, turned it back on, and one of my my stereo mix input wasn't working right after I turned it back on. I'm like, Jesus, this is the total opposite of what I wanted to happen. But I restarted it again, and it worked fine. So I don't know. Computers are weird like that sometimes.
And we could probably pair this up with this other one on the list called never closing browser tabs.
Yeah.
And browsers in general, because like when you don't shut off your computer, or if you don't quit out of a browser, everything you've been doing up until then does like build up, as Adam said earlier, and just makes everything slower. So like let's say you're on Netflix in your browser and you start watching a bunch of movies, and then you like leave the browser open, or you leave like the app open, and you start going on something else, you'll see that your like hard drive space is going down.
Manny gets this a lot. Manny gets this a lot with porn.
Yeah, with porn, it's terrible. It is awful. And then pop-ups, just the worst.
Yeah, so make sure you close your browser tabs.
Right.
Because otherwise
for
your
Netflix
computer's going to be...
For Netflix, HBO Go, even just like downloads, you're streaming things on YouTube, and you think it's like not doing much, but you're basically downloading that information onto your computer so you can play it. And if you keep on building that up, you're going to run out of hard drive space and also slow it down, and it's just a pain.
And that's not good.
No.
Another one on the list, cluttering your desktop. Imagine if the messier your bedroom got, the slower. I almost said I thought I said shower. The slower you moved through it. The molasses-like pace decreasing with each discarded magazine or sock. That's what happens to a computer desktop that's cluttered with files, as the machine is forced to constantly index, account for, and generally expend processing resources on those items in plain sight.
Yeah, I am very guilty of this.
You have a bunch of stuff. I've seen
terrible.
Like I remember when we were in college, I would see people's desktops who have like files on the entire desktop.
Yeah, I mean it's so bad that I think at one point some friends have tried to like prank me by just taking a screenshot of my icons and then making that the background and hiding all my icons.
That's great.
And I wouldn't notice for a while, and then I try to click on something on my desktop. I'm like, why isn't it working? None of these are working, and it's just because it was a background only.
That's great.
Yeah. So that's a little good prank to pull on people, but yeah, I do that at work too, and it's just the worst. It's bad. I end up making a folder called Desktop 2.0 or something like that, and then putting everything into that desktop, and then so on and so on. It's like a big loop that never ends.
Well, I'm looking at my desktop now. I have 1.5 columns of files, so I mean, mine's pretty clean. Nice. Moving on, avoiding software updates. Computer and mobile devices are now trained to nag, pinging the user with weekly or even daily requests to upload or update loaded software. The instinct to ignore these is understandable and problematic. Updates can not only protect your system from malicious attacks, but keep its various parts compatible with one another. This is something that, I mean, I have an iPhone, so they kind of fix that with the new software. It updates for you as long as you're on Wi-Fi.
Sometimes you could set it that you don't do that.
Yeah. So. As long as you're on Wi-Fi, it can update for you. I know before this, iOS 7?
Yeah.
Before that came out, my wife, Andrea, she would never update her apps, man. I mean, I would...
Don't call out names.
I would look, and her sister's the same way too, because I've seen her phone. I would look at their phones, and like under the App Store or whatever, it would say the number like 10.
Wow.
I was just like, update the app, and now it does it automatically, so... Right. My life is slightly less stressful. We already mentioned never closing browser tabs and Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. Here's one: never backing up photos. Unless you back up the images on your phone, you're one fumble away from losing them forever. The same goes for shots stored solely on a standalone camera's memory card or a computer. But smartphones are the worst offenders, since transferring photos can be tedious and user unfriendly. Make backups a scheduled task, setting aside an hour every few months to copy files to dedicated hard drive.
My parents are terrible at that. They don't know how to do that. And actually cousins in general. But yeah, just it's sometimes difficult / time. I mean, I do it on the regular, and by regular I mean maybe once a month. And I just plug in my USB on my phone into my computer and just do like a capture setting into a hard drive and just back everything up and kind of clean my phone But then people are like, oh, I want to keep some photos on the phone and such, and like it just becomes a little hassle. But now with cloud storage, people could just automatically upload up on there and
right.
Just
Plus
files on your phone, and it'll still be in your cloud. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, people also a lot of times take photos literally just to put them on Facebook, which is kind of backing them up right there.
All the time.
Yeah. So.
Or like, I don't know if you do this, but I need to go look at something and or a train schedule or something like that. I take a picture of this schedule, or I take a picture of this like file name on my computer, or I take a picture of this street name where I parked my car, stuff like that, so you can remember it. And then or like park level in a parking garage, and so you can remember it, and then you just forget to delete it. And,
I have to go through my phone once in a while and delete.
Go through and you see some weird things, man. You see some things you're like, wow, why did I do that? Like a weird selfie or something while you're intoxicated.
Only 2 more left. We have using MapQuest. Apparently MapQuest is the AOL of mapping services, a brand that wants to find a technological capability but now serves only to date anyone who uses or mentions it. Instead, use Google Maps.
Yeah. And I gotta pair this up with Internet Explorer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the last one, using Internet Explorer.
Because they're both like they were both pioneers in what they did at the time, but like now they're not very functional in the sense of like benefits.
Not at all. Yeah, I mean,
Google Maps definitely updates better on traffic and routes and such, and they already acquired a service called Waze, which lets users like you're on the road and you could report an accident and pile up, and somebody else can, and like it kind of tracks how fast people are getting through things, and that goes to Google Maps. So like, that helps you out in discerning which route to take.
Right, yeah. And I mean, nowadays I don't even have to choose, because a lot of times when I'm looking for directions, I type the address in Google and it pops up, and all I need to do is click directions and it takes me right to it.
Are you on an iPhone or are you on Android?
I have an iPhone. I'm talking about on my computer, but when it's on the phone, I don't use Apple's. I do not use Apple's.
That's what I was going to say. Like, Apple's Maps is not the greatest either. I used it the first week it came out in LA for the first, and I was in LA for the first time, and I had no idea where I was going. I rented a car and I used Apple Maps, and I was like, oh, this isn't that bad. Then I used it in the East Coast, and it was the worst piece of, like, it was awful. It was crap.
Oh, really?
I think that then just took care of the West Coast, and that's it.
Yeah, so that's some tech habits that you should probably try to break. People. Yeah, and you had mentioned, with the shutting your computer down, do it, but don't do it all the time. Just try not to never. I don't like to use double negatives, but don't never do it.
Everything, mostly everything needs a nice little refresh every once in a while.
Yeah.
So you just apply that to life, refresh everything. You refresh your groceries, you put new oil in your car. You don't, stuff like that. So,
yeah.
Computers, just shut it down, turn it off. That's all.
It helps.
Yeah.
And your computer will last longer, and it will thank you for it. And your phone too. So let's quick do the Weird of the Week. We got about a half hour before Game of Thrones comes on, but I want to give people plenty of time to pop their popcorn and all that good stuff. So let us get into the Weird of the Week.
And now the Next Level Showcast presents the Weird of the Week.
All right. And this week, on the Weird of the Week, actually, 2 of these stories I kind of just heard today, and I decided I had to add them. One of them is, I kind of actually have to give credit to Andrea, my wife, on both of these. A rare goat sheep was born on an Irish farm. The animal, referred to as a geep, G-E-E-P, I kind of prefer shote. I like shote better. Was born about 2 weeks ago on Paddy Murphy's farm in County Kildare. The unexpected arrival is thought to be the result of mating between a goat and one of the sheep farmer's Cheviot ewes. How do you pronounce EWES? Is it ewes? Ewes?
I don't know.
Mr. Murphy said the crossbreeding was not intentional. He described it as a pure shock to the system and said it would be one-off event on his farm. I don't know what that means. But yeah, apparently all of a sudden his one sheep gave birth to a geep, they're calling it.
They seem kind of cute. I mean, I would definitely,
goats are awesome.
For
Sheep
2
are
hours.
awesome. So, a hybrid, it has to be cool. And there's, we'll put the story on our website. There is a picture and a video, so we'll make sure we point you in the direction to see that.
Would you call it a shoat?
I like shoat better. Yeah, I don't like geep.
Or shoot?
I would call it a shoat.
If you do shoot.
I would say shoat. The other one that actually just happened yesterday, Tetris fans planned skyscraper-sized game in Philadelphia. Hundreds of Tetris fans had a little fun Saturday with a big version of the classic video game. The Philadelphia skyscraper-sized version created a spectacle against the night sky that organizers hoped inspired onlookers and players to think about the possibilities of technology.
Rad.
The 29-story Sierra Center, I think that's what it is, which has hundreds of LED lights embedded on its glass facade, normally displays colorful geometric patterns at night. But on Saturday, images of supersized shapes fell on two sides of the mirrored tower as competitors used joysticks to maneuver them into place. So basically, they used these LEDs to literally play Tetris on the skyscraper. Like, people were actually playing. Awesome. Yeah, it wasn't just like a video. Like, they were playing, which is fantastic. Andrea was actually down in Philly visiting her sister, so she actually saw it.
Oh, great.
When she was down there. So yeah, it's really cool. Here's an interesting one. A dog escapes a Texas backyard and somehow gets to Ohio.
What?
A small dog that escaped its fenced-in yard in Texas was found outside a southwestern Ohio animal shelter, and its owners have no idea how he traveled more than 1,000 miles in a few days.
Christ, I wish someone had put a GoPro on that dog. That would have
he had to have hitchhiked or something.
Like Homeward Bound or
he was trying to get away.
That Rodney Dangerfield dog movie. I don't know if you know what that is, but
he's
crazy.
It's not like Homeward Bound. They're trying to find his way back. He wanted to get the hell out of Texas.
Unless how did he do that in only a few days? 1,000 miles.
They don't know.
It's crazy. Somebody definitely had to maybe he got a pickup. Maybe he hitchhiked a little bit.
Are you talking about Rover Dangerfield, by the way?
Yeah, Rover Dangerfield. He gets kidnapped by a jealous boyfriend of an owner and gets tossed and ends up in a farm or something.
Yeah, it's a cartoon.
It's great.
So this was a 3-year-old Chihuahua Dachshund mix. He dug a hole under the fence in his backyard in Killeen, Texas on March 25th. He was then found Saturday tied to a bench outside the animal shelter in Hamilton, about 30 miles north. Not this past Saturday, so it was last week.
But he's Chihuahua Dachshund?
He's got such little legs.
Small legs, huge. I'm assuming his torso is long, like a Dachshund.
Well, somebody must have. I mean, there must have been a couple people that I don't know. I don't know how he got all the way. There was a surveillance camera at the Humane Society in Ohio that recorded a woman leaving the dog at the shelter on Friday night, but still, that doesn't explain how he got to Ohio.
That's a little sketchy right there.
Yeah, right? She kidnapped him.
Yeah.
Dog-napped him.
It might have been a Beethoven situation.
It very well could have been a Beethoven situation. Dog-nappers.
These jerks.
Finally, a Facebook photo. I don't know if you heard about this. This broke, I think, on Thursday. A Facebook photo may have saved a girl's sight. Tennessee mother of 2, Tara Taylor, may have very well saved the vision of her 3-year-old daughter simply by posting her picture on Facebook. 2 observant friends saw the picture and noticed a strange glow in the girl's left eye, prompting the eye exam that revealed she had Coates disease, a rare retinal disorder. So what happened was...
So basically she got red eye?
Here's the thing. her right eye has like the red eye, the normal red eye that you see, but then her left one has like a whitish glow to it. So that's where, when she posted on Facebook, people that she knows were kind of like, hey, you know, you might want to get that checked out. And
wow,
she did.
I guess they've heard of it. That's crazy.
Yeah, well, like I don't think they knew like of the condition, but you know, they said one of her friends, I guess, commented on it saying, "Hey, I'm sure it's nothing. It's probably the lighting, but your daughter's eye is glowing, and you might want to have it checked out because it's a sign there could be an issue with her eye." So she went to the doctor, and she has Coates disease.
Wow,
which is crazy.
And I'm reading it could lead to retinal swelling and detachment and cause of vision loss.
Yeah, but this family, that's not it. This family actually had another medical scare a few months ago. Her father, the daughter's father, Jason, was involved in a life-threatening fall from a balcony back in August. The accident caused many broken bones and led to a series of surgeries, prompting a friend to start an effort to help them with some medical expenses. So they've been through a lot in the past little bit. So I mean, I hope they have good medical insurance.
Yeah,
over there in Tennessee. But yeah, that's crazy. I mean, just
good vibes over to the Taylor family.
Yeah, and I mean that's just crazy that, you know, posting it on Facebook. You know, back up your photos, post them on Facebook.
There you go.
And
Put it on Facebook.
Could save your daughter's vision. It's just nuts.
A selfie a day might save your life.
A selfie a day keeps the doctor apprised of how your eyes are doing.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's like the opposite. I'm pretty sure if someone posted a selfie a day on Facebook, it would lead to their death.
Yeah,
via friends.
People killing. I actually heard, this is, you know, that's it for Weird of the Week. So, I mean, we can wrap that up. But, you know, before we get going, you're talking about selfies. I heard, I think I saw an article, selfies, people who do selfies, it's like a sign of like narcissism or something like that.
Oh, for sure. I mean, egotism or whatever, egotism, and narcissism for sure. Like, I think there's a...
Yeah, here's the
there's a whole article on it.
Article, yeah, it came out a few days ago. Scientists link selfies to narcissism, addiction, and mental illness.
Yeah, wow.
That's a topic for a whole nother day, but I mean,
time to
Miley Cyrus.
Time to go on Instagram and search search hashtag Instagram on there and just point out to all those people.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I mean, not once in a while. I mean, if you do it once in a while, whatever. But if you're someone like, you know, who's the, like, don't the Kardashians always do selfies or something? Who's the one that like always does selfies?
I don't know.
I don't know, but there's a ton of them, and like celebrities, which there you go, narcissistic celebrities always put selfies up and stuff like that. But
me, look at me.
Yeah, duh. So that wraps up the show for tonight. Manny, got anything that you need to like promote or anything like that as a thanks for coming on the show?
Just the love of the world. I want to promote love and peace. And Game of fucking Thrones. Watch it.
You said you hated it.
Yeah, I do hate it. But I love
it's not like The Walking Dead, which wrapped up last week. We didn't get a chance to talk about that.
I actually hate. Oh, it did wrap up. So yeah. Anyway,
if you want, we can briefly talk about that. I know we said we were going to wrap up, but go ahead.
All I'll say is
no spoilers.
Walking Dead. Yeah, I'll just say I wasn't disappointed. But I wasn't happy with it at the same time because I still don't like the show. But it was kind of not so. They usually end with like a higher, a crazier note, but it wasn't that crazy, I guess.
That's not too bad. All right, well, we'll wrap up the show then. And you said you don't have anything to promote or anything, but if you ever do, obviously let us know. We'll more than happy to help you.
Oh, don't worry, I'll hijack the show at that point.
Make sure you tune in next Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. But next Sunday, Ben will be back. We are going to review Captain America, The Winter Soldier. Obviously, we won't spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it at that point. Ryan Johnson, our winner of the contest, is going to join us and let us know what he thought of it.
Not the filmmaker.
Not the filmmaker. And of course, we'll also talk about any relative stories that happen over the week and stuff like that. And then Next Level News and Weird of the Week as well. Again, check out our Facebook page, Next Level Radio. No, that's our website. Facebook page is facebook.com/Next Level Radio Online. Our website is nextlevelradioonline.com, and our Twitter @NXTLevelRadio. Make sure you check out our website, though, because that has all our old shows on it and our old interviews. We have 5 up there now, a couple more coming up in the next couple weeks. So make sure you check all that out, because some of the interviews are actually really cool. People, maybe even if you didn't know who they are, definitely worth a listen, because they're fun to talk to.
Yeah, definitely. Like Darren
DeWitt Henson, yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So,
that was a good interview.
next week we'll also recap Ben's interview with Craig Shoemaker. So he did that last week. Obviously, he hasn't been on the show in a couple of weeks. I wasn't there, so I'm not going to recap it because I can't tell you. But check it out. I know I watched it a couple days ago. It was really cool. So, Manny, anything else on your end before we get going?
Just have a lovely, lovely evening, everyone.
And watch Game of Thrones.
Watch Game of Thrones.
All right. Well, we will see you next week. And again,
thanks
check
for
out
having me
our
on,
pages.
everyone.
Yeah, thanks again for coming on, Manny. Later.
Is that all?
No, there's much more to come, Curly. Well, that's tomorrow. Let's not give the story away. Good night, you princes of Maine, you kings of New England.